Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Johnny Boy, the Consumer Monkey McDonald, here for another Business Live Global event. We are doing these recordings and interviews and chats with people like you from all over the world. We're talking to movers and shakers, to paradigm shatterers, and to people who are changing the lives of others for the better. Each interviewer gets to choose their favourite song at the end of that time, and so that gives you an insight into their eyes and gives you an insight into their mind. So let's see who we've got in the chair today. Founder of the World Summit and founder of the Sangha Wellness Centre, I give you Beth Lauren. Beth, hello.
Hello, good to be with you.
It's an absolute pleasure because I've been looking over your website and websites actually, and so the thing you held in March this year, how did that go?
It was amazing. 1,900 people visited the site over 2 days, stayed
Wow.
for at least one session. The tickets were free, I have to say, but people came, they enjoyed, people reached out to me, people joined the mailing list. I've had incredible feedback. I did surveys to ask people, would you pay for this content next year? And would you come in person? Overwhelmingly, people were so excited by the speakers, the yoga and meditation. So I am building a wellness center, and the plan is to have the wellness center be the home of the WellTech World Summit. So that's what we're building towards.
Excellent. And so it's really gratifying when you said, oh, the tickets were free, but here's the thing, you can't give away rubbish. So you had 1,900 really interested customers. I mean, they've got this free networking, people just don't show up. So yeah, that's an incredible result.
Yeah, I think you're right. A lot of times free things, people blow it off, but people were so engaged and so excited. And I also one of the primary goals was to have the speakers collaborate, and people have already made bonds with each other. They're doing webinars, they're doing each other's podcasts. People are truly collaborating. And so that's really gratifying.
Excellent. So you are prioritizing self-care these days. What's that about?
I think it's sort of I have reached middle age. So it's kind of now or never, but also, I think one of the things that really came out of the pandemic is so many people who were really sick, and unfortunately so many people who died had pre-existing conditions. A lot of those conditions were things that, with a lot of lifestyle changes, they could have avoided. We have to really take responsibility for our own health, for our own well-being. And so making sure that we're sleeping, we're meditating, which, helping with de-stress, things we all know, but sometimes go by the wayside. But really taking those moments for yourself, and making sure that you're working out and that you're not eating a ton of processed food. There's a lot of, especially I live in America, and our basic diet is not good. And so, like a lot of Western countries, but so I think that's really important. I think that should be a huge takeaway globally from what we all experienced from the pandemic.
And so your recent travel plans, that they've included wellness destinations, have they?
Yeah, well, actually I went through a period last year where I was maybe going to move to the UK.
Okay.
And that changed, and that's fine. And it got much better for me, but to stay here in New York. But I was doing a lot of research on and especially for WellTech, I was doing a lot of research on wellness destinations, and the UK and actually Ireland too are really prioritizing spas and yoga retreats and all kinds of wellness retreats. And in doing that research, I really saw, and you could see the wellness tourism market is $41 billion. It's really exploded. And there's a little bit generational, Gen Z travelers are really prioritizing mental health and really looking for destinations that offer opportunities for them to, whether it's meditation or, somatic movement or different things. They want the venues to provide things that really aid with their mental health. And families are overwhelmingly prioritizing wellness destinations over like adventure trips or like parks, which is really an amazing trend. And it seems to be here to stay. So that's what I look for in my destination. I like a good spa. I like to know yoga classes. I like to know there's places where you can be quiet by yourself. And it seems to be a global movement.
It's the irony, though, that I do meditation. Like I was swimming this morning, and I only count the lane I'm doing. So one, one. So I'm just in, out, breath, one, counting. And you can skip out in a second, but it's more difficult to. So I find that um, I find that meditation very effective. But I, like you, and I'm older than middle aged. Do we only know this because we have the perspective?
I think because people were so at home, we were basically at home for 2 years, and people were just like looking and, you're looking for ways to feel better and seeking out comfort and how to make, dealing with the isolation, dealing with different work patterns, dealing with like not having having their regular routine disrupted. I think everyone, all generations is really looking to be healthier and happier, and really to make sure that whatever's in store for us for the next go round, the next pandemic's on the horizon, like to make sure that we're better equipped in our homes and in ourselves, mentally, physically, and spiritually.
And so someone attending your wellness events, they would build this resilience into them?
Yeah, I really believe so. Like the wellness center that I'm building, like the core of our offerings are Ayurveda, Indian medicine. But because that's something that I practice and I believe in, it's the efficacy of it. And so that's really in our spa services and in a lot of our offering. We will have an actual Ayurveda clinic with an amazing doctor that I'm partnered with. But we make space for all different modalities, whether that's transcendental meditation, which I also practice, or Reiki, or somatic movements. Yoga is a sister science of Ayurveda, but all of that, like we have a lot of workshops planned. We are there for like providing a facility for those types of classes. We want people to be able to enjoy like a full complement of wellness services and but also really learn about Ayurveda. So so I really think that kind of resiliency and that kind of like determination to take care of oneself is really like uppermost in our offerings.
Very interesting. I will put both the websites that are on your LinkedIn profile in the notes of the YouTube so people can click on that. How are you building a community, and how much time does it take to build a community with like-minded people?
So excellent question. So Sangha is actually the Sanskrit word for community.
Okay.
So we are all about community. So one of the things that we're in our business plan was not only can you come to this wellness center, you can become a member, you can get a day pass, you can enjoy everything we have. We're going to go out into the community to bring Ayurveda and teach wellness practices to schools and youth groups, and really make sure people that are left behind, whether it's financially or because they just don't have the knowledge, like we want to bring it out to the community. So it's not just coming to us. And this is the way to make sure really no one's left behind. And so that's one way. And then also just, joining something like Business Live Global, and meeting a fantastic team. And through WellTech, there's just it's been amazing to when I was picking speakers, it's just people that sometimes it was people I just happened to come across. I heard them on someone's pod, and it was like a domino effect. Like someone turned me onto a pod, I saw an episode, and I was like, I've got to get the person whose pod it is and the guest they had, and then that guest gets another guest, and that's really opened up like my world and my community.
Well, the transcendental meditation, as you've explained, you do is a lot about manifestation. Um, so, looking into the barrel of the camera, who do you want to be speaking to? Who can you help, and how can you help them?
Excellent question. Um, it's for everybody. So that sounds broad, and we all know in business, know your customer.
Hmm.
But I mean, like wellness, self-care, exercise, diet, lifestyle choices that will set you up for success, pandemic or no pandemic, just to get through life, just to get through the aging process. Like, there's no reason, there used to be that, you would just like accept that you get old, your body deteriorates. We don't have to accept that anymore.
No.
Because of technological advances in health, but also like cutting edge, changes, but also something like Ayurveda, which is 5,000 years old. It's still around for a reason. Can say the same thing for Chinese medicine. So, I feel like, so my audience is people who really want to live their best lives,
Okay.
show up for themselves, like every day, for themselves, their family, their business, and not feel like when they hit an age, they're going off a cliff.
Yeah.
They can still have optimal health, well into their 50s, 60s, 70s.
So you have chosen Paul Weller, Shades of Blue. What does this mean to you before you say goodbye?
Paul Weller has been my hero, my just guiding light, musically, emotionally, in every way, since I'm like 11.
Hmm.
And I was very fortunate to meet him back in the days when I was in the film industry, and he was going to work on a project with me that unfortunately didn't come to fruition. But he was lovely, gracious, and as gracious and lovely as he is talented. And his songs have just had so much meaning for me. And this song is just a lovely song from not the, I guess, his last album, and his lovely daughter, who was also very talented, joins him on it. So just the words are really meaningful to me.
Fantastic, fantastic. Beth Lauren, have a great day. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Have a great day.
Scales and the balance of time proceeded, ticking of clocks in silent homes emitted, larks ascending, flash with planes. Oh, my soul, what will I do to feed them? Nothing inside, nothing outside, nothing in the kitchen. What I'm left with, I don't know. Spending life just to find out. All that matters is close to you. The people you know, the things that you show, shape our views. Places you've been to follow a dream in shades of blue. And in a small side street of contemplation, you lost it. And in the late night bars of annihilation, you lost it. The truth was that it wasn't his to lose. Spending life just to find out. All that matters was close to you. The people you know, the things that you show.